As you know, many people here in Connecticut and in northern states believe slavery did not exist in our neck of the woods. Can you give a brief history of slavery as it existed both in the northern and in the southern states?
Sure. Well, first, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you, Giselle, for the invitation. Yeah, we don't have to spend an inordinate amount of time on it because it's really a long history. The slavery in this country goes back to the founding of the country, and even before the founding of the country. And I think the founding of the country with the 13 colonies was already entangled in the global enterprise of slavery. It accelerated at certain points, but it was certainly there from the very beginning. And so when we think about the Northeast, the way in which the Northeast escapes our understanding of contemporary discussions of slavery is because by the 1830s, essentially the North had developed to an extent to where they didn't have to rely on the full-fledged plantation economy, and they could basically move on to more industrial forms. And so they were able to kind of relegate the institution of slavery to the South, and it became, in everybody's mind, a Southern enterprise from that point on. But up until that point, the North was just as complicit. Many of its ports were just as fertile, if you will, with the slavery enterprise, busy waterways facing the Atlantic, all the way from Virginia, all the way up the Eastern Seaboard. So there was no place in the United States at that time, what became the United States, that was untouched by slavery and by the enterprise of slavery. And so transatlantic slavery is a global enterprise, touched every facet of the economy. And it's only in modern history that we start to decouple the North from slavery, and what precipitated and led to the Civil War and trying to protect the Union, right? And so, one of the things I think about when we talk about Juneteenth is, these moments of celebration are important. And I do think we should at least just mark the fact that it is a historic gesture to have this holiday. But without a full accounting of our history and how entangled it was in essentially, corralling and containing and contaminating many facets of Black possibility, African possibility, relegating Black people to second class, third class, zero class citizenship, is something that this invites us. This holiday should invite us to that deep dive into our history and the entanglement of it, the murkiness of it, the ugliness of it. And I think that to the extent that this holiday allows us to do that work and commits us to that, then I think we should commemorate, and continue to honor this holiday as much as we can. Now, the last thing I'll say right quick as we start is just, yes, I think this is about Black freedom in particular. And I think that we need to honor that as an understanding. That should be part of our understanding that this is about Black freedom in this country. But by no means was slavery only practiced in the United States. In many places in the Caribbean, in Central America, and indeed in South America, there are commemorations of Juneteenth for the abolition of slavery in the United States, but also the abolition of slavery throughout the Western Hemisphere. So I want to just underscore the great importance of Black freedom to the Western Hemisphere.
Absolutely.